Good evening, everyone. Come on in. Hello, hello, hello. Give some people a chance to join. Hey, hey, everyone. Hope everyone's evening and day is going well. And day is going well. Hey, Rod. I wanted to come on this live because I have been getting a lot of questions from people to asking me things. What can I do to protect myself? What are some of the things I should eat? I was getting lots of different questions, and I shared this with my coaching clients, and I thought I'm going to go live and share this with everyone else. So if you can, please share this video. There's a lot of questions, a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress out there. And as a health coach, I just wanted to do my part to try to allay some of the fears and know and help encourage people to do some additional things above and beyond what the CDC is saying that you need to do to protect yourself. So come on in. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but I wanted to put these things out there to give you some things to think about, some things to implement. And of course, if you have questions, feel free to type them in the chat and we can address any questions that you may have. But essentially, right now, this is all the talk, right? This is all everybody is talking about because it's a pandemic. So it's not every day that these things happen, and so it's front and center for everyone, and it's affecting every single person's life, especially here in the U.S. and pretty much everywhere. Hey, Mickey. And so it's important to understand the things that you can do. For those who know me, I'm a big fan of of taking control of your health, making sure that you play a part in your health. And it's no different than what we're dealing with this pandemic of the coronavirus. So I'm just going to share some tips with you of things that you can do to increase your decrease your risk of getting it or overcoming it should you contract the coronavirus. But it's a first I want to say that this is pretty serious. Unlike what we've seen in the past with some of the other things like Ebola and SARS, I mean, this is pretty serious where major events are being shut down, schools are being closed. I mean, major activities are happening, and we really haven't seen that in quite a while. So I really want to start this whole thing by saying we have to take this serious. I've seen different posts on social media where people are joking about it and making memes and things, and that's all cool, but we do have to take this thing very serious because it is spreading very quickly. And so we each can do our part to at least start out by following the CDC guidelines of what they're saying and whatever else is being done in your local area. So, number one, follow the CDC guidelines. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Whatever the CDC is putting out, follow those. Whatever your local area is suggesting and recommending, please follow the guidelines. Do your part. Yes, you may not personally get sick, but you can be a carrier and bring it back to someone whose immune system may be compromised. And, now you're spreading it. So we want to do our part in following the guidelines. There's some things that you can do to boost your immune system. And I'm going to talk about those, some things that you can do right here, right now, today to boost your immune system. And yes, Jeff, it is very serious. So please don't take this lightly. I know everybody's got life, all of our lives are being put on hold in some kind of way. I made posts about my travel and events that I was speaking at has been postponed, all sorts of things. So we're all being affected. But the point is that serious that all of these things are occurring. So let's do our part. There's things that you can do personally to do your part to help yourself and even those that you are in contact with. And that's things you can do to boost your immune system. So I'm going to talk about that. How you can protect yourself on the outside, because our skin is our largest organ. Our skin is actually our first line of defense when it comes to protecting ourselves. So things you can do on the outside. And then stress. I'm going to talk about stress because this is stressful times that we're all dealing with, but I want to explain to you how stress can actually exacerbate the issue and make it worse. So I want to talk about how we need to really deal with the stress that's affecting us as well. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the CDC guidelines because I'm sure everybody has heard those, but just follow them. The social distance piece, really important. I have a speaking engagement that I was supposed to speak at next week. They're still putting it on, and I'm just blown away. And I actually contacted the organizer and just expressed my dissatisfaction with the fact that they're still putting this event on, gathering people together. And I said, I'm not speaking. So if you guys still, are planning to do it, count me out because I'm not going to participate. I don't want to jeopardize my health. And I'm just surprised that they aren't. I wouldn't be surprised if by next Saturday, the event is actually canceled. So follow the CDC guidelines, everything that they're saying. Please do your part for that. I'm not going to go into detail and repeating those. You can go on the CDC website. I shared, today I had a lot of coaching calls and I dedicated the entire day to the coronavirus and what you need to do because it's just that important to share. So again, I wanted to share this with you guys because it's front of mind and I feel like I need to do my part in sharing some additional things that you can do. So follow the CDC guidelines, but there are some things you can do to boost your immune system. So things like food is a big way to boost your immune system. And I always say the best defense is a good offense. Prepare your body to be able to handle anything like the coronavirus or the flu or colds. You can boost up your immune system. And diet and food we eat plays a huge part, huge part. I stress to my coaching clients that there are things that you can do to eat that can help boost your immune system. So, first of all, vitamin C is one of the number one things that you need. And I hope you guys are sharing this. Please share, because I want to get this message out to as many people as possible. Because some people just, they don't know. And it's more than just what the CDC can do that you can do to protect yourself. And I would recommend taking some notes as well for some of these things that I'm going to be sharing. So vitamin C, of course, is really one of the best things that you can take in terms of whole foods to boost your immune system. Vitamin C is antiviral. It boosts the production of your white blood cells, which is your immune system, your lymphocytes and your phagocytes. And so you need an abundance of vitamin C, and you can get a fairly good dose of vitamin C just through foods. So I'm going to share with you some of the foods, and I have a list that I'm going to read from of the foods that have the highest concentration of vitamin C that you may be surprised of. And these are some of the top ones. So broccoli and other cruciferous vegetables, high in vitamin C. Kale, your leafy greens, high in vitamin C. Of course, you guys probably know oranges are high in vitamin C. I would say, as far as orange juice, if you're like a diabetic, you want to monitor that. But oranges themselves are, of course, high in vitamin C. Lemons, your melons are high in vitamin C. Your bell peppers, so your red peppers, your yellow peppers, your green peppers, high in vitamin C. Things like pineapple, vitamin C. So a lot of your fruits and vegetables have a really high vitamin C. And I made a post not too long ago about eating the rainbow. And so you want to make sure that you eat the rainbow. Get a variety of colors, and you're going to get vitamin C through that. So vitamin C, number one, it is huge in helping to address viral related, side effects of viruses. And one of the things that I'm going to talk about when I get to the section on supplements is another way to get vitamin C that a lot of people don't know about, that I personally use as part of my breast cancer healing journey. Another important one is vitamin D. Getting vitamin D. Vitamin D helps also to reduce your viral load. So say you do get in contact with the coronavirus, vitamin D is going to help you with that. There's not a lot of foods that naturally have vitamin D. Of course, the sun is the number one way, which is why I always try to get out as much as possible, like every day if I can, to get the natural sunlight. That's the best. The way to get your vitamin D is through the sun. However, there are meats. If you're a meat eater, I personally am not a meat eater, but if you are a meat eater, there are some meats, mostly of your fatty fish, that has a nice source of vitamin D. So things like your tuna, salmon, mackerel are good sources of vitamin D. Zinc is another good one to help you boost your immune system. Zinc is critical in the development of your immune cells, so your white blood cells. And good sources of zinc are your legumes, so your beans, all your different kinds of beans, your nuts, your seeds, your whole grains, potatoes, some of your leafy greens like kale. If you're a meat eater, shellfish has zinc in it, a source of zinc. And then the one that I love, dark chocolate. I love me some dark chocolate. And I actually just recently found some really good, healthy dark chocolate that doesn't have all the sugars in it. And it's really good for you. Dark chocolate is actually really good for you. And it's a good source of zinc. So those are some of the things that you can eat to get your zinc. Another good one for boosting your immune system is Irish sea moss. Sea moss. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but sea moss is really good for you. It gives us 92 of the 102 minerals that we need for our body. So sea moss is a really good one. It's antibacterial, it's antifungal, and it does include vitamin C in it. So it's an excellent way to boost your immune system. Now, sea moss, when you buy it, it's usually, if you buy the actual real sea moss, you have to cook it to actually get the gel-like substance from it so that you can consume it. And there you can look on online to get sea moss. You can find sea moss at a lot of health food stores. You can also purchase it online. A lot of people sell the sea moss online. And there's lots of YouTube videos out there on how to prepare sea moss, but I highly recommend get you some sea moss in your life. It covers a lot of the minerals that our bodies need, iodine, I mean, you name it. It's got a ton of nutrition. It's a way to pack a strong punch with just one item. So sea moss is really good. I actually get the sea moss gel, and I actually have some, and I put it in my smoothies. I'll put some sea moss in my tea, or sometimes I'll just stir it up in some water, hot water, kind of get to let it dissipate and drink it that way. So sea moss, really good for you. Mullein tea, mullein, Mullein. Mullein is a plant. It's a naturally grown plant, and you can use the dried leaves as tea to drink it, and it's really good to help boost your immune system as well. Mullein tea is actually really good for respiratory issues. It helps deal with the inflammation in your respiratory system. It's antibacterial and antifungal as well. So mullein tea is definitely another good one to drink. Of course, your powerhouses that should be a part of your daily staple, your daily diet: ginger, turmeric, really, really good for you to consume on a daily basis. They are my go-to. I take them every single day. Fresh ginger should be a staple. Fresh turmeric, staple. And the ginger and turmeric, the both of those are anti-inflammatory. They're antibacterial. They're antiviral. And they're antifungal. So these are like nutritional powerhouses. Staples for me on my breast cancer healing journey, but just staples in general that, you all should be consuming. And you can get the fresh ginger. I love to put ginger. I mean, I use ginger in so many different ways. You can boil the ginger, make you a tea out of it. You can then use that boiled water again to make tea. You can put it in your smoothie. You can dice the ginger up, shred it up, put it inside your smoothies. You can put your ginger in your salads. There's so many ways to use ginger. You can actually use the ginger powder and use it in your smoothies as well. I prefer fresh, but the powder is actually good as well. I love ginger in my tea. I pretty much have that every day. Turmeric, same type of thing. You can put turmeric in your cooking dishes. Get some turmeric in your life. Turmeric is best used with black pepper. Black pepper increases the bioavailability or the absorption of the turmeric, but it's something that you should definitely use. Fresh is best. You can juice both of those. So if you juice and you do raw juicing, I juice turmeric, I juice ginger. You can even do like get a few knobs of the turmeric and the ginger, run them through a juicer, and just, how you have the shots, they sell the little juice shots in the store. You can actually make those. And if you have a juicer, and get you some shots, and then mix the ginger and turmeric together and take those. So guys, if you're just tuning in, please share this video, because I want this information to get out, to try to allay fear as much as possible, and to show people that they can play a part other than what the CDC, in addition to what the CDC is saying. But ginger and turmeric, excellent. Those are just great just in general for flu, for colds. I mean, it's part of my go-to source, and it should be a staple in everybody's house. I know both of them are pretty strong and they have pungent flavors, but you get used to it. I promise you'll get used to it. The more that you take it, your taste buds will get used to it. And of course, one of the most important things, and I probably should have said this first, not last, but water. Water removes toxins from the body. Water carries oxygen to our cells for normal functioning. We cannot live without water. So I can't stress the importance of increasing your water intake. Minimum half your body weight in water, minimum. So, you weigh 250 pounds, dudes, you need to be drinking a gallon of water a day. And I know some people are like, oh, how can I do that? Again, it's one of those things where you get used to it. The power of water, it just, the benefits are innumerable, but certainly it helps to boost your immune system and helps to flush out toxins. When I go through my detox, I just finished up a 3-day water fast. I think for some of you who follow me, you've seen I did a water fast, my smoothie fast, and all of it includes water because you got to flush those toxins out your body, and water is the best mechanism for you to do that. In your home anyway, so who cares if you have to keep running to the bathroom? You're already at home, so no big deal, right? So make sure that you include water, increase your intake of water. So those are some of the things around food. But in addition to food, you want to also look at other things like supplements. So some of the things that I just talked about in terms of food, you can get it in supplement form, like vitamin C. Vitamin C is also known as ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid, ASCORBIC. Ascorbic acid is the actual name for vitamin C. And you can buy it in the powder form. I would say, I would recommend at this point about at least 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day. But vitamin C is, you can get it in supplement form. The best way to get it, of course, is naturally, but you can certainly supplement with it as well. But I want to talk about another type of vitamin C that a lot of people don't know about. What was interesting was I read in a study, piece of hair in my mouth. I read in a study coming out from China about this coronavirus, and it said that China has been treating with success people with intravenous vitamin C. So people are getting vitamin C literally pumped into their veins, because when you get vitamin C intravenously, it bypasses the digestion process, right? So when you think about digestion, it's got to go through your throat, esophagus, down to your intestines, get to your kidneys, and it's got to go through all of this digestive process. And sometimes what happens is, your body doesn't fully absorb all of it, and it may end up getting excreted through your urine. So you don't absorb all the vitamin C. So what's happening in China is they're actually giving people intravenous vitamin C. That is like the best way to get vitamin C in your body. I'm not saying everybody go out and get IV vitamin Cs. I will tell you this though, on my breast cancer healing journey, I did get intravenous vitamin C for a period of time to really give my body, my immune system, a big boost to help me, with boosting my immune system and overcoming and overpowering those cancer cells that were in my body. However, there is a way that isn't quite as effective as vitamin C, but it's better than taking it the normal way. And it's called liposomal vitamin C. Liposomal, Liposomal, liposomal vitamin C. And what that is liposomal vitamin C is basically a delivery mechanism that encapsulates or circles the vitamin C. So vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin, which means it's best absorbed in water. And so what happens with this liposomal vitamin C is these things called liposomes, which are these spear-like structures when you're making liposomal vitamin C that encapsulates or surrounds or protects the vitamin C. And it encapsulates the vitamin C inside along with water, and it allows it to deliver it where it needs to go throughout your body without running the risk of it not being absorbed and excreted through the urine. So your absorption rate, it increases your absorption rate and your retention rate of the vitamin C much better. Once I stopped my IV vitamin Cs, I started taking liposomal vitamin C. To this day, I still take liposomal vitamin C. It's a great way to increase your absorption of vitamin C to boost your immune system. It's great for certain, immune conditions, just as a huge way to help ramp up and amp up your vitamin C intake. You can order liposomal vitamin C online. You can also make liposomal vitamin C. I have a recipe that I will post in the comments on how to make it yourself. But you can order it. I actually just ordered some online for my family. So I want my family to take it in addition to me. I've been taking it all along because vitamin C is a critical part of my healing journey from breast cancer, and it was vital to my healing, is really boosting my immune system. So I will share the recipe for how to make it. It's actually not difficult to do. And you know, you can certainly find it online. Liposomal vitamin C, really important. You can also take vitamin D um, in in uh, in supplement form. Vitamin D is best absorbed when taking with like a healthy fat or vitamin K. So when you take vitamin D supplements, it's best to take those with like a vitamin K or some sort of healthy fat like avocado or something like that, coconut oil or something that's a healthy fat because it's fat soluble. There's a Belinda says, for those with compromised immune systems, would elderberry help? Oh, yes, Belinda. Elderberry is a staple in my household. The elderberry is very strong in vitamin C, so it's a great immune booster as well. I always recommend that for things like colds and flu. So yes, elderberry you can definitely add to the list. Of course, the best way would be fresh elderberries, but they're not always easy to find. I usually can find elderberries. Some health food stores have them, but Asian markets have them as well. But you can buy them as the elderberry syrup. You just want to, when you buy elderberry syrup, you just want to look at the ingredients and make sure that it's pure elderberry syrup and not a bunch of fillers. Because unfortunately, when we start getting into supplements, all supplements are not created equal. And a lot of times supplements have a lot of different fillers in them. So, you know, you want to definitely make sure that the elderberry syrup, if you take it, has pure elderberry. And it's just elderberries that were cooked. You can also, if you do get the fresh elderberries, you can make a syrup out of it. It's not hard to do at all. It's just finding the elderberries is the biggest challenge. But yeah, elderberry syrup is good stuff. Zinc you can also get in a supplement form as well. It's readily available. Iris sea moss. If you don't actually get the moss and cook it yourself, you can get the Iris sea moss in a powder form, and you can take it, add the powder form to like smoothies and things like that, or you can get it in capsule forms. There's a lot of herbalists out here that sell Irish moss. I personally know some here locally in the Metro Detroit area. So if you want a referral, I can get you a referral. Irish sea moss also, you can get it at health food stores, Asian markets carry them, but you can get that in supplement form in addition. But of course, when it comes to supplements, the name supplement is just that. It's intended to supplement what you're doing. Food is our medicine. Let food be thy medicine. I need a big sign right here that says, let food be thy medicine. Because truly the best way to get the minerals and vitamins that you need is naturally, as it was intended through nature, you know. And you guys are hearing me say this all the time. We got to get back to nature, because here's the deal, guys. The reality is this, you know, yes, this pandemic is going on, but we've had the flu, we've had the colds, we've had all these things. And the best thing that you can do is make this a standard practice of care, to take care of your body all the time. So you don't have to worry and have that stress about, yes, it's possible that you can get it. And I'm not saying these things will prevent you from not getting it at all, but it certainly increases your risk of how to deal with it. And it certainly will allow you to pass it through quicker and minimize the symptoms that you may experience. So this really, the things that I'm sharing with you is not like, okay, let's do this right now because we got coronavirus. These really are things that we should be doing as part of our daily habits of self-care and taking care of ourselves and eating foods that nourish our bodies. So when things like this happen, because it's not a matter of if, we've seen the post every couple of years, we get some big thing that comes up, right? So it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and just we want to be protected. Oregano oil is another good one that you can take to help, and you can get that in supplement form as well. I'm going to talk a little bit more about essential oils separately, because that's another way you can boost your immune system. But oregano oil is antibacterial, and those come in supplements. You can take oregano oil. Oregano oil, again, is a staple that I have for things like colds and flus that are really good. For viral infections, oregano oil is good. For fungal infections, it's powerful stuff. It's really powerful stuff. So definitely add that to your health arsenal. Somebody says, is wolfberries good for you? Mike, yes, hello there. Wolfberries they're good. They're also fine as well. They contain also a great dose of vitamin C. So any of your berries, goji berries, blueberries, strawberries, any of your in the berry family, those things are really good. And a lot of them have, especially your darker berries, have what's called anthocyanins. And those are really good to boost your immune system and help with your white blood cell production. Because at the end of the day, we need our white blood cells on 10. Like, come on, white blood cells, come through and protect us and help us. So we got to get our white blood cells. And when I talk about boosting the immune system, that's a big part of it, is getting those white blood cells on 10. Belinda says, how do you take oregano oil? You can get them in capsules, Belinda. Oregano oil is really strong. So, it's not for the faint of heart. You can actually, I use oregano oil actually when I'm cooking some of my dishes, but it's very powerful. So you need like a little drop, but I would recommend taking it in capsule form. That would probably be the best way, because it's a very strong oil. And it's pretty powerful. So capsule would be the way that I would recommend taking oregano oil. So those are some of the supplements that you can take. And if you guys are tuning in just now, please share this video. Certainly go back to the beginning and watch the beginning of it, because I do share some other things. But my goal is to equip you to get your body together, to help boost your immune system, and to help you reduce the stress, because it's times like this where, this stress can really create the onset of some things that we don't want to happen in our lives. And I'm telling you, speaking from experience of having dealt with chronic stress, is one of the factors for me even getting breast cancer. So dealing with stress is going to be really important. So some of the other things that you can do is essential oils. Essential oils are essentially plant extracts that are extracted from plants, that gives your body, that's extracted and made very potent. Essential oils are pretty potent, and they're like 10 times the effectiveness of the actual plants themselves. So I love essential oils. They are a staple. I use them every single day, and they are really, really good for a myriad of different things. And I use them for so many different things. But today we're going to talk about a way that you can help protect the air around you. Because remember, coronavirus is viral, right? It's airborne, it's viral, and it's something that you can contract through the air. So we want to make sure that the air environment around us is good. And not Lysol. I'm not personally a fan of anything like Lysol and things like those, because those things have toxins in them. They have chemicals in them that in the long run are not necessarily in our best interest. I know that's being touted and they're all sold out and all that good stuff. I personally don't use any of that stuff. All the products I use are all natural. And I'm going to share with you some of the products that you can diffuse to actually help clean the air and help purify your air, but also as you inhale it, helps you as well to boost your immune system as well. So just to talk about how, our defense systems are set up. Our defenses are the things that we put in our mouths, the things that we eat and consume, right? Because it goes into our body, it gets absorbed, it gets spread out through our cells. Our skin, which is our largest organ and our first line of defense, we need to protect our skin. And I could talk for hours about that part. So what we put on the outside, what we put on the inside through our food is really important. What we breathe in is really important. So we want to make sure that our areas around us are purified, and diffusing essential oils are a great way to do that. Guys, when I was in the hospital, I actually brought my essential oils in the hospital, and the nurses were like, Miss Fetaway, you are something else. I said, yes, because guess what? I need to protect what's going on, because there's a lot of sick people in these hospitals, and my immune system is compromised already. And I want to protect that. So I actually brought my essential oils actually to the hospital. So some of the things that you can diffuse for essential oils: eucalyptus, from the eucalyptus plant. Eucalyptus is excellent because it's anti-inflammatory, it's antibacterial. That actually acts as an expectorant, which it loosens up the phlegm and the mucus in your body. Um, I love a eucalyptus essential oil. You can diffuse it to kind of purify the air. Another thing you can do with a eucalyptus essential oil is you can actually put some drops in your shower, a couple drops of eucalyptus essential oil in your shower, and let the steam from the shower kind of help spread the essential oil. Now, you can also get a eucalyptus plant as well. And I actually recommend putting a eucalyptus plant right in your shower, in your bathroom. So that's another good way. So eucalyptus is really a good, powerful way to kind of keep your airways opened up. If you have respiratory issues, eucalyptus is really good for that as well. Any kind of respiratory issues you may have. So that's a good one to use. You can diffuse. Frankincense, the father of all oils, the biblical frankincense, is good for everything. Frankincense to really be a staple that people have in their households. It has so many properties, but it's anti-inflammatory. It's antiviral as well. It just does so many things. And I use frankincense every single day. I actually put it on my body, in addition to diffusing it in other ways that I use it. But frankincense is really good. So that's a good one to diffuse. Oregano oil. We talked about oregano oil as a supplement that you can take capsules, but you can also diffuse oregano oil and help clarify the oil, because again, it's antibacterial, it's antifungal, it's antiviral. So diffusing oregano is good. Thyme, THYME. So like the thyme herb, you can actually get thyme in an oil format. And guys, I'm telling you, when I went through my breast cancer healing journey, if you saw my essential oil collection, you would be like, OMG, Nicole, you have the collection of all collections, because essential oils do so many things, and they have so many healing properties to them, one of which is boosting your immune system. So essential oils are really good. Mel, you said elderberry. Yes, I talked about elderberry earlier in this live. Elderberry is really good for you. So definitely add that to your arsenal. Tea tree oil, also known as melaleuca. Really good oil to diffuse. A lot of people use tea tree oil. You can use tea tree oil to clean, because and so when we talk about cleaning surfaces, and the CDC says you should be cleaning your surfaces on a regular basis, get you some lemon and some tea tree oil and some vinegar and go to town. I don't believe in all the toxins and stuff. I don't use any of that stuff. Everything that I use has to be all natural. And get you some tea tree oil, some lemon oil, and some vinegar with a little water added into it, and disinfect your areas and clean your areas. It's really good for that kind of stuff. But it's also good to diffuse. So diffuse, use some tea tree oil. Mel, you said sea moss. Yes, I did cover sea moss as well earlier. So Mel, you're hitting on all the good stuff that I actually did cover on the food side of things. So definitely catch the beginning of the replay if you missed it. And please, guys, share this, because so many people need to hear about how they can play a part in their own boosting their immune system. Because guess what? One person's good immune system is one less person that may contract coronavirus, or the quicker we can get over it. So everyone should know the different ways that they can arm themselves with protecting themselves from boosting up their immune system. So tea tree oil, those are all great things to diffuse with. So in addition to the oils, the supplements, the foods, something that we all should be able to get a little bit more of now, since our schedules hopefully have slowed down, is sleep. I can't stress the importance of sleep, everyone. Our bodies need sleep. I never realized just how important sleep was until I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Sleep is super important. There's a Chinese body in traditional Chinese medicine. So I studied all sorts of different types of approaches to medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, holistic medicine, you name it. I learned about it. I studied it because I wanted to know all the different ways that our bodies have the ability to heal. And one of the things that I love in Chinese traditional medicine is using the Chinese the body clock. It's called the body clock, and it talks about all the sequences of what happens, because our bodies are designed to evolve around the sun. When the sun comes up, we're supposed to get up. When the sun goes down, we're supposed to go to sleep. And what happens when we're asleep is our bodies go through restorative functions. We go through detoxification processes. Our cells are regenerated. Our different organs are all regenerated as we go through sleep. So when we don't get sleep or don't get enough of it, we compromise some of our body's important functions. So I can't stress the importance of sleep. You got time now, so get you some sleep. 7 to 8 hours of sleep is ideal. And I would say the core time for sleep is roughly between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. is ideally where a lot of these functions are occurring in your body. But I can't stress the importance of sleep. I know we all have busy lives and we have a lot going on, but if you want to boost your immune system, give your body a chance to get some sleep. Really important. So sleep is another important one. So ways you can protect yourself on the outside, in addition to, purifying your air. We talked about the essential oils. There's a lot of talk about hand sanitizers. Once again, I'm not a fan of all these store-bought things that are laden with chemicals and stuff that dries out your skin. I want to caution you on hand sanitizers, because using too much of them can actually strip your hands of some of the important bacteria that you need, and can actually create an adverse reaction. So only use hand sanitizers when you absolutely have to, when there's nowhere where you can get to soap and water. Soap and water is the best mechanism of washing your hands and keeping your hands clean. But if you want to use hand sanitizer, I have a DIY recipe for it. Easy to make, super easy. I made some. You can make it and it works and it's effective. Simple DIY recipe. You want to have some isopropyl rubbing alcohol, at least 60% effectiveness. And you want 2/3 cup of this. And I'll post this in the live as well. And I actually have an infographic that I'm going to post on my business page for this recipe as well. But 2/3 cup of rubbing alcohol, 1/3 cup of aloe vera gel. So aloe vera gel, you can either buy the aloe vera gel or you can actually get the aloe plant. I love getting the aloe plant because you can eat the aloe. You can use it for your hair. You can use it for your skin. Aloe just has so many different great healing properties. And all you have to do is cut off a piece of the aloe, scoop the gel, and you can kind of either mash it real good or throw it in the blender real quick to create the gel. So you need about 1/3 cup of the aloe vera gel. I love to put aloe vera gel in my smoothies. Really good healing properties for that as well. You need lavender. So I like to put essential oils to, again, get the benefit of essential oils, plus to give it a kind of a good smell to it. So you can use lavender essential oil and that antiviral, antibacterial tea tree oil. So about 6 drops of the tea tree oil, 6 drops of the lavender oil. Mix that stuff together. First, you want to mix together the alcohol and the aloe vera gel. And then you want to add the essential oils. Mix it together. Store it in a glass container, because guys, we don't like plastic. We want to minimize our use of plastic. I can talk a whole hour about that, but minimize your use of plastic. So get you a small little glass container, about maybe this big, this tall, this round, something like this. Glass container that you can store it in, and you can use that for months and months. And, ladies, I have these little, and I wish I had brought them here in my office, but I have these small little glass containers that I carry with me when I travel, and I keep them with me in my purse that you can just use when you're out and about, hand sanitizer. So make your own hand sanitizer. It's not hard to do at all. It's easy to do. And use glass instead of plastic. I always encourage glass as much as possible, because plastic, there's all sorts of stuff, issues with plastic that we want to minimize our use of. I'll save that topic for a whole nother day. And, you know, guys, one thing I forgot to mention about the essential oils, all essential oils are not are not created equally. There are some essential oils that you can get on the cheap. And I learned this on my breast cancer healing journey, because once I learned essential oils are really good, I also learned at the same time that I needed to have higher quality. So sometimes essential oils are not as purified, and there's fillers that are added to them. Quality is important. I actually became a rep for essential oils because I use them so much. And like I said, if you saw my essential oil collection, I literally have essential oils all throughout the house. I have essential oils in the bathroom. I have essential oils in the kitchen area because I use them for cooking and in my teas and all sorts of stuff. I have essential oils in the bedroom for like my diffuser. I have a travel kit for my essential oils because I take them on the road when I travel. So I use them religiously. So I'm actually a rep. So if you're interested, I'll also include a link if you're interested in getting some essential oils. But just know that you want to make sure that the quality of the oils are there, because some of those oils, and it's unfortunate that, you know, in our quest to be healthy, there's some stuff out there that's like knockoff, I will call it, and doesn't give you the full benefit that you need. And certainly if you have a compromised immune system already, you want to get the good quality stuff for sure. So that's a DIY hand sanitizer. The other thing I want to talk about is stress, because right now, you know, we're in a stressful time. We're dealing with a lot of stress, and, you know, having stress can actually compound itself. And guys, everything I'm telling you, these are all things that I've implemented in my life on my breast cancer healing journey. These are all things that I continue to do to this day, that I will do for the rest of my life. Because again, the best defense against things like this is offense, where you're practicing this on a regular basis and it's a habit. So you don't have to try to scramble, and your immune system is already where it needs to be. So that's my hope and wish for all of you, is that you start to implement these things as just part of your daily habits and part of your daily lifestyle. But the stress part, man, stress is the #1 precursor to disease, guys. And so while we're living in stressful times, I mean, we're hurting financially, right? If you have your 401k, hope you didn't look at it. I know I haven't looked at mine. You know, I don't even want to look at it because it's taking a hit. You know, if your source of revenue is being impacted by not having to work, or if you're a small business owner, you know, you may be impacted through stress. So we're all dealing with stressful situations. You know, now the kids are out of school. What am I going to do with the kids? So stress is among us. But I want you to really try to minimize your stress, because it actually, being in a high state of stress can actually work in reverse for you, because stress is the #1 precursor to disease, and it can actually weaken your immune system as opposed to boosting your immune system. So I want to talk about stress a little bit and why it can weaken your immune system. And this is really important. This is one of my 7 keys to vibrant health that I cover in my coaching programs. I spend a lot of time talking about stress because it's so important. So, you know, kind of what happens is our brain, our minds, you know, it's like danger, 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 Will Robinson, danger. And I'm dating myself by saying that, but our brains send a signal that they're stressed, you know, and you know, what happens is the stress actually, our hypothalamus, which is part of our brain, actually sends a signal to our adrenal glands, and it says, all right, we got a problem. Nicole's stressed out. We got to do something. We got to help her get out of this stressful, because our bodies are so magnificently designed, guys. I mean, like, we have like the bomb system in our bodies. And I just want everybody to really get back to nature and really just appreciate how well our bodies are designed. So our adrenal gland sends the signal, says, hey, body, we got trouble. And then what happens is our adrenal glands submits these hormones like adrenaline. and these different hormones it secretes into our body to help us get out of this stressful situation. So it secretes adrenaline, and it secretes cortisol, these stress hormones. And these stress hormones, their job is to get you out of this stressful situation. So what does it do? It increases your heart rate. It increases your blood pressure. It does all these things. And what it also does is it shuts down what it considers non-essential functions, because it's saying, right now you're in a state of stress, so I got to shut down all this other stuff. I'm not worried about digesting right now because you're stressed. I'm not worried about reproductive activities because you're stressed. I'm not worried about your immune system right now because you're stressed. I'm trying to get you out of this situation. So it shuts down what it considers non-essential functions. So what happens? So meanwhile, it's not doing those functions. Well, that's intended to only be a short-term thing. And, it's perfect the way it's designed because it's intended to be short term. But what happens is if we're stressed day over day over day over day over day, now we're talking about chronic stress. And now the suppression of these what's considered non-essential functions is starting to be compromised. Your immune system, so your white blood cell count starts to get low, and you're not digesting like you have, and now all of a sudden you got digestive issues, and now maybe you have reproductive issues. It stunts your growth. I mean, it has all these things. So stress, while our bodies are designed to handle it, it's not designed to handle it for an extended period of time. So what I want you guys to realize is, yes, this is stressful, but this too shall pass. I liken this to the recession of 2008, that we went through, or some of the Ebola and the SARS and some of the other things. These things are temporary. It too shall pass. China is kind of over the major hump. So they're seeing fewer and fewer cases of the, coronavirus. So just know that this is temporary, because we need to give our bodies everything it needs to be able to protect us in these times where it's spreading, and it's going to continue to grow here in the U.S. We haven't seen, guys, in the U.S. the full brunt of the coronavirus. Just know that we have not seen the full brunt of it, and it's, it's a communicable disease, and it's growing. So while it's stressful, we have to do our part in trying to minimize it. So what are some of the things you can do to reduce the stress? Okay, well, number one, you're at home, right? So take some time to reconnect with family. Call that person that you haven't talked to in a long time, or play cards or crafts. I personally have, there's some documentaries on Netflix that I've been wanting to watch. I watched, yesterday I watched the show She Did That on Netflix. That was super cool. Recommend watching it, by the way. Women entrepreneurs, really dope. But I'm catching up on some of my documentaries since I have a little bit more time in my hands. If you have kids, explain to your kids what's going on, because they see it. They don't have school, right? But you don't want your kids to be fear. And I tell you this, guys, whatever emotions you're exhibiting, if you're exhibiting fear, panic, stress, it's going to affect your kids. They're going to pick up on that same energy, that same vibration, because guess what? We're energetic beings, and our energy can transfer. So if your energy is giving off stress, anxiety, worry, it can project onto your children as well. And now they're picking up that same thing as well. So, talk to them and explain to them that this is temporary and what's going on, and, give them stuff to do while they're home too. Hopefully schools are giving kids like temporary assignments, but if not, you certainly can do that. There's plenty of things out there on the internet to help keep your children functioning with, some cognitive skills while they're out of school. Other things you can do is deep breathing. I practice deep breathing every single day. So many benefits of breathing. It helps flood your body with oxygen. It helps reduce the cortisol levels in your body. It helps reduce the adrenaline in your body. And it helps kind of just relax your body because it floods you with oxygen. So deep breathing is really important. Certain exercises like yoga is really calming. Those things are really good for deep breathing. So we want to do things that reduces the fight or flight hormones and increases those feel-good hormones. Those feel-good hormones like the serotonin, the dopamine, the oxytocin. These are all the feel-good things that actually helps relax you and helps to get that immune system back working again like it's supposed to. So you want to definitely do as many stress reducing activities as possible. Meditation is a great one. I do meditation every day. I start my day with meditation. And if you guys do some other stress reducing, feel free to type them in the chat there and add some things, you know, that you're doing as well. Again, diffusing the essential oils are very calming. I like to calm myself. I like to use lavender, chamomile. Those are really good calming oils and kind of help you to relax. Vetiver, Vetiver, is another good calming oil and actually helps to induce sleep. So it kind of does a double duty. It actually relaxes you, but it also can help induce sleep as well if you're having trouble getting to sleep at night. Drink calming teas like passion flower or chamomile tea. There's a tea called Nighty Night that I love, that I would recommend. It helps you relax and it also helps you get to sleep as well. So I like to drink tea in the evenings before I go to bed to kind of help me just ramp down, help me unwind. I have a whole nighttime routine that I follow. And then do stuff that makes you laugh, because when you laugh, you also generate those feel-good hormones, those endorphins, that oxytocin, and makes you feel better. So watch a comedy show. You know, there's plenty of those out there, you know, comedy movies. Do something that makes you laugh, because that's really important. And these guys, and everything that I'm telling you are all things that, you know, again, should be part of our regular routines, but they certainly help you to boost your immune system, to reduce the stress, because again, stress is counterproductive to health. Stress is a necessary part of life. This is there, and our bodies are designed to handle stress, but our bodies aren't designed to handle high levels of stress for extended periods of time. So these are just some examples that you can do to reduce the stress in your bodies. And so, you know, those are kind of some high level things that, you know, I encourage you to do. If you want to know more about some things that you can do to reduce your stress level, I have an ebook. If you have not seen my website, I have an ebook. Jeff says bird and animal watching, a walk in the woods. Jeff, I'm jealous. I am so jealous of your backyard. You have like the dopest backyard of anybody that I've seen, like with bird watching and getting outdoors. And you know what? I'm glad you mentioned getting outdoors. I try to get outdoors as much as I can. Like the least bit of sun, I'm out there, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Getting back to nature is so important. Getting the vitamin D, getting the fresh air is so calming to the soul, because it's what our bodies need. Guys, our bodies were designed to be in tune with nature. Our issue is we've gotten so far away from it with our busy lives, with the technology, all the mass-produced, man-made stuff. We have to get our bodies back to nature. And I know that sounds corny, or it may sound like cliche, but when I say it's the truth, I promise you, I had to get back to nature to give my body what it needed to be able to overcome breast cancer. And it works on so many different levels, including what we're dealing with here today with this pandemic that is before all of us. There's things that we can do, and getting back to nature is one of them. So definitely, Jeff, good suggestion. Any other things that you guys do, please share it in the post of things that you can do to relax. You know, on the financial side, you know, I recommend having a home-based business. Number one, I believe everybody should have a side hustle, another stream of income, something above and beyond your job, because here's the reality, guys. You know, what this is doing, the longer that we're in this pandemic, the more it's going to place a burden on the economy, and we're likely to definitely go into a recession. And, you know, this is my wealth side of the business that's talking right now. I kind of talked about the health side, but this is the wealth side of me kicking in, because I always think about this part as well. You know, you should have another stream of income coming in. And what better way is to have a home-based business where you can literally be making money right now, right home. You're home, you're not working. You know, you can't do all the things that you normally do out and about. You're keeping your social distance, right? We're keeping our social distance because we're doing what the CDC tells us, because that's really important. Don't short circuit what the CDC is telling us. So having things like a home-based business is a great way to be able to, number one, get some additional income that can help supplement what you have on your job. And it's ways that you can make money from the comfort of your home, leveraging things like the internet. And so it's an excellent tool. We've got the technology. You know, we're using the technology right now. There's so many ways to do it. A lot of you are working from home. So just like you can work from home, you can have a business from home making money as well. So I encourage everybody. And I have a whole write-up on all the benefits of having a home-based business that can help you financially. And certainly as we enter this recession, because I believe it's going to happen, there's definitely things you want to do to try to increase your finances and improve your finances. And again, not even thinking about what's happening to our retirement accounts, which are taking a hit as well. So if you're interested in learning more about the wealth side of things, I would be happy to chat with you, share some of the strategies that I personally am using to try to recession-proof my income as much as possible. But overall, guys, I just want to stress to you that you can take a part in what's going on with this pandemic. Yes, it's a big deal. And I can't stress that enough. It is a big deal. It's very serious. I believe in the coming days, we're going to hear a whole lot more in terms of crackdowns and things that are going to happen. But you can play a part in boosting your immune system by, the foods that you eat, reducing the inflammation in your body, by the supplements that you can take, purifying the air around you, purifying what's on the outside of your body, as well as getting your mind right and reducing the stress, because mentally, how you approach this will make all the difference in the world as well. Don't stress out with the fact that maybe your retirement account isn't where it needs to be. We dealt with this 10 years ago. The stock market is one that's, it's a cycle. It's going to rebound. Part of the financial principles I talk about is now's the time to actually be purchasing stock while it's low. It's a strategy that we can employ. But once again, I just want to share this information. I hope you guys got some value out of this. Please share. Please, please, please share this. So many people need to know this information. I am a health coach. So if you're interested in taking this further to transition to a healthy lifestyle across the board and make this something that is part of your lifestyle, this is what I do. I am a health coach. And so, feel free to reach out to me. I have a ton of information on my website, thehealthandwealthcompany.com. So visit my website. My business page, I have a ton of information on my Facebook business page in terms of things that you can do, because this is the life I live. I live a life of trying to, on a daily basis, boost my immune system, because my reality, guys, is that I am not out of the woods yet in terms of breast cancer. So I have to do everything in my power to keep my immune system functioning at its highest state. So everything that I shared with you today, the stuff that I do on a regular basis, is part of my daily routine, is part of my lifestyle. And I hope you can get some value. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can post them in the chat, and I'll be sure to look at all the comments and answer any questions that you may have. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you missed it, please rewind it. If you got some value out of this, please drop a 5 in the comments if I helped you in some kind of way, if you picked up on some kind of nuggets, because, my goal is to raise the awareness level. You guys may have seen that I was featured on the local news, and that's part of my mission, is to make sure that I use my journey with breast cancer to help other people through their challenges, from either overcoming something you have or either preventing it in the first place. So take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe. And remember, don't stress. This too shall pass. Good night.